At the current moment, all of my children left the house, and I am being guided to share a message while my house is like peace and quiet. A few years ago, I started getting visions about prophetic events that would be, occurring in the future. And I was shown that the things I was going to see were going to be very unpleasant. And I actually had quite like a debate with my spirit team. And for a while, I was like obstinate. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I was like, nope, not me. I'm not gonna see these things, and I'm definitely not going to tell people about what I'm seeing because I know what that looks like. And so they kept showing me these big events, and finally I came to terms with it. They did say for a while I'd be seeing these things kind of like in private, and then they said there was going to be a time when I needed to put them out there. I'm starting with these like weekly energy updates about future events and energy updates that I'm getting from my team, things we need to be like on the lookout for, and how we as a collective can rise above these darker entities. So I saw this about 3 years ago, and there would be like civil war, okay? And I saw that a bomb would come from Russia to near the Panama Canal to hit a device under the ocean that was placed there by government and other beings working together, and that this device. Something with this device, it's not quite clear, but it involves like the weather patterns. It involves like power and control dynamics. And it hits that device and it causes a tidal wave, a tsunami. And at that time, I was seeing myself getting people out of their homes to safety to escape that land. The team showed me in August that coming into September, there would be a series of events back to back that would heighten. That was a few days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He showed me today during channeling that 8 weeks from the time that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that there will be another bigger event occurring. Involves a lot of people in the upper side of California. I'm saying like the left of the United States, so the upper left of the United States, the upper portion of California. Like there's I keep getting a vision of like a mountain that there's a portal on top of this mountain where a darker mountain where darker beings, energies have come through that portal. And as the Lemurian land begins to rise, under the ocean there, the darker energies begin to get very angry. And so there becomes like a power dynamic. Specifically, the team keeps pointing to their feet, like they walk this land and they're kind of like soaking up these negative energies, and it's causing to stir, almost like when you see underwater and the muck has been stirred up and it's hard to see clearly. They're showing me that the upper half of California, they're showing me more like protests. I see a lot of fire and a lot of people lashing out. I kept hearing an uproar and chaos. 8 weeks from September 10th, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, we'll see heightened events in the upper part of California. And then 6 weeks from that time frame, they took me over to Washington, D.C., and they were showing me, they actually specifically showed me this card, the tower. They showed me this image of Trump, the president, actually crying, and they kept talking about a female, like a woman of power who, there was something about death here, but I see Trump's face and he's saying everything that we hold dear has been attempted to be taken away from us. And that's the vision I keep getting in that time frame, that he's making this announcement. And this card came out with it, which immediately, we look at the tower, the Trump Tower. We see the eagle. I actually saw him and his wife, and I saw like a divide. And then after I pulled this card, I saw the divide here as well. And then pierced shield. And when we talk about like the United States and the eagle representation of the United States, and a kind of like a shock that comes in, but it has to do with a female or a female energy, and something about something being an attempt, something abrupt being taken away. And you see the pierced shield, so something at the heart. Just a reminder to daily set intentions to for protection over those in leadership, and protection over the people of our country. Of course, there needs protection outside of here, but I'm being drawn to our country right now, and more attempts of harm towards those of leadership. You see the arrow, pierced shield. It could be really easy to get entangled in these lower level dark energies. So just a reminder to stay with divine presence, divine love, and light, asking our spirit team for guidance and discernment. As a channeler, I try and stay really neutral when it comes to politics. Like, and I don't really like to like watch the news that much, and not to be naive or gullible to what's going on in the world. As a channeler, I like to keep information out just so that when I do get messages, I know they're coming from channeled source, divine light and love, so that I can clearly communicate them. I am feeling such an immense amount of grief for like the events that have happened and that are coming, but I'm really guided to do this by my team. For the word protection keeps coming to mind, so that the people can understand what's coming, and so that they can prepare, and so that the people can have an awareness of how important it is to upgrade yourself, to not stay stuck in these lower level energies. Like the time is now. Like I'm a therapist, okay? And I know that there's a place and time for going slow and taking our time and growing. But I am very clearly being shown by the team that like we don't have time to waste. Like we don't have time to decide when we're going to get better, when we're going to upgrade, when we're going to come into our gifts and our highest self. That's one reason why like I'm being pushed to do these videos, is like it terrifies me. Like I have like Pluto and Saturn in my third house with like conjunct with my sun, and like I don't want to like how should I say this? I want to talk about the things that are deep, but like it is very scary for me to put myself out there, and it's just part of my journey. But like that's just an example they're giving me of how you could have gifts, and if you hide them and you don't put them out into the world to help others, how others, like their suffering could continue, and and you know, we're all connected. And so like, if we don't put ourselves out there and rise up and attain like the higher knowledge, I'm talking about like God frequency, like these higher level frequencies, and listening to our spirit team, or living in fear, like that affects everybody and it affects the collective. And so there's like a real push right now to like, we need to like be a team, and all of us like start to like do our inner work, push past these things that have been blocking us, and like start to come together, because what's coming in the future is not meant to cause fear or panic, but the whole purpose is, what I'm being told, is protection. The whole purpose is to push people forward so that they can do their work and start listening to the divine and their higher self. And I keep hearing act now. Like there's no time for taking our time anymore. Like the healing needs to happen. It just needs, like everything needs to move forward. Because the earth is splitting into the new earth. And it's like you're either in or you're out. And you don't want to be stuck. Spiritual battles, right? But it's not spiritual anymore. It's physical. So it's spiritual and physical. And I've been shown that there are, some would call them demonic, some would call them Anunnaki, some would call them aliens, beings. There's kind of like a rising up of these in the Antarctica area. Beings who have been here quite a long time, who are like resurfacing, and they have really bad intent, but there's actually like governmental scientists working with them in the Antarctica area. And so light worker healing energy should be sent that way to block it and to break down equipment. This is so hard to talk about. I don't like it. Okay. So yes, there is going to be civil war. It's already starting. And yes, there will be a need for people to get out of the USA down the road. I heard that 2026 is a calm before the storm. 2027, specifically July 7. So 2027, things really start to increase. I heard fires, and I was shown, like, I don't even like to talk about it, like an earthquake, the land open up in the middle of the USA and a divide, and I heard 25% of the people make it out, and then a lot of death. And the points of safety, I was being shown like parts of the Panama Canal like lit up, and then South America, there was the top of South America, the middle, and the bottom. Also, just a side note, I'm not good at geography. This is just like the map they show me in my head. And then they moved farther. They said the upper northeast side of Canada would be a safe spot. Celtic, they kept saying Celtic spot, like way up there, top of Ireland, and then Norway, and then over in Poland it's like the more of like the center of Europe. They were showing me that many times, that in Poland there will be a I mean, I've never been to Poland. I don't know what it looks like, but the image they keep showing me is like there's like a cave, and it's pretty high up, like in a mountain of some sort. And there are beings who are assisting in the protection of people and helping people get out away from the bombings and chaos, the air quality that is gonna not be good, like a foresty area, like it has lots of foliage, and there's like like the side of a mountain, and there's a cave, and there's like a lot of people hiding in there. And then another safe spot is Australia. And that's all I've been shown about the safe spots so far. It's always good just to plan and protect. Keep yourself in your highest I am self, the highest intentions of good, and be really discerning